Hey everyone, this is Pete again. I'm going to do another tutorial video today. I haven't done one in a while, so hopefully this one is helpful. And I'm hopefully going to be doing some more consistent tutorials because I know there's a lot that I haven't covered yet and getting a lot of love on the tutorial videos I've made so far. Today we're going to talk about bots. There's a section in the node graph on bots. So I wanted to kind of go over some of the uses of these different nodes. You have add bot, bot difficulty, get is bot difficulty, get is bot, remove all bots, and remove specific bot from match. So there's a lot we can do with this. I'm going to first cover the more common thing that you would use, which is most people want to test things in Forge. So they like to add some bots into the game to kind of see how it plays out. I will add, I'm not going to cover the nav mesh in this video. I may do it in another video, but keep in mind when you're adding bots to a level, you do have to have a nav mesh built. Otherwise, your bots are really not going to do anything. So this start or the canvas maps, they actually do have nav mesh built in for this big square. So you can test stuff in this, but if you remove that nav mesh and haven't built a new one, they won't work right. So I just wanted to call that out in case anyone runs into issues there. What I'm going to do for let's let's spawn in a switch real quick because we'll use that for our testing. So I'm going to spawn a switch there. Um, and then I'm going to actually just bring that switch onto our node graph so we have it when we're ready. So go ahead and add the object reference to the node graph. Um, but first off, the main thing that people will do is use bots for testing their map. And an easy way to do that is to have something like if you mark, it adds another bot to the game. You could also do like if you press a button, if you crouch, like all these different things you can do to trigger adding the bot in. Um, so let's start with on player mark. Um, there's an event up here in the events players. You could do on player mark. Keep in mind this is going to add a bot into the game that will when that bot dies respawn. So you don't want to mark like 10 times because you're going to have like 10 bots in your game. Mark like one or two times, get a couple bots in there, check it out. I mean, you can do the 10 times, it's up to you. But we'll start with this. This is our event, what's triggering something happening. Then we're going to jump back to our bots menu, which is up here at the top. And we'll just say, we could say add bot, but there's something I want to show you here too that's helpful with bots. Instead of just saying when you mark add a bot, you can actually add this into a map that you intend to have published for customs, but actually make the functionality of adding bots not work in that custom version. So I want to show you how to do that really quick. Um, it's in our logic. We're going to grab a couple things. So we're going to grab a branch, so because we're going to check if something's true or false. And then we're also going to, down here at the bottom, use get is forge mode. And what this does is it basically just returns true if you're in forge mode, false if you're in customs. And the reason we can use that is we're going to be in forge mode. We'll just set it so that if you're in forge mode, it adds bots. If you spawn or if you load up your map in customs, that functionality won't be there. Pretty simple. So we're going to connect the event here. And then we're also going to say true because it's if it is forge mode, which you see down there, we're going to go ahead and add a bot. And for anyone that hasn't seen my other videos, most of the nodes have these diamonds to connect how the event flows. So it's kind of like the event chain. Um, Keep in mind, branch is one of the ones that doesn't have a diamond over here, but its true and false can connect to diamond. So it's really important to know that. Okay, so here we're going to set a bot difficulty. So, and I actually need to get into the menu. Okay, so you have Marine, ODST, Recruit, Spartan. So if you want to, I think Spartan's the hardest one. If you want to add Spartan, choose a team. And then the other thing you'll want to do is make sure you're on the opposite team if you want to fight them. But this right here should run. I'm going to go ahead and mark. And you notice how 343, the thumb joined. They're on the other team. They're going to actually spawn, I believe, in these spawn over here, yeah. And you can fight them. I'm not going to, waste everyone's time fighting them, but that's probably the most basic thing and what I've seen a lot of people use the bot scripting for. Just to cover a couple of these other nodes in the bot section and just kind of how you can use them. So this bot difficulty is essentially used for, let's say you wanted to set multiple of these ad bots or something else, but to a single difficulty and have it be able to be changed easily. You could say, Marine on this, and then plug it into this one. Maybe if you had multiple other ones, you can essentially assign them all at once. And then if you want to change them, you just change this one. So that's kind of what that bot difficulty is. And then get is bot difficulty is a way to check if a bot is a certain difficulty. That one, I mean, depending on your need, you may use it, but it's essentially you plug in the bot, you plug in the difficulty or just assign the difficulty, and then it's going to do true or false out the other end of if the bot is that difficulty. This is going to be used in conjunction probably with some of the nodes you can use for lists. Let's go to, I think it's players. You can do get all players. Okay, so some bots are, some of the players could be bots if you have bots in the game. Then you could add a loop. So you could say for each player and plug it in. Oh, just jumped on me. So we could add this list of all players into this, and then we could say we would need a branch. So let's just grab that real quick. So we're going to execute per player, and we're going to check a condition. And so we could say the current player. So this is going to, let's say there's 20 players. It's going to go through, all 20 of them. It's going to check if it's a bot, if it's the difficulty, which, see, we set it to marine difficulty. So let's set this one to marine difficulty. We'll test it real quick. Marine difficulty. So this is going to be true or false. We'll say if it's true, we're going to just do a quick test. If you want to test things using these debug UI or kill feed prints in the UI is awesome. So you could say print Boolean to the kill feed. Use that one. So we'll just say if it's true, print it to the kill feed, and then we'll set it to say true. So actually, you know what? We can just set it to say what that is, even though it's going to only print if it's true anyway. So this whole section, it's not going to run on its own because we don't have we don't have an event powering it essentially, but let's bring it up here. We could say on player marks, it's going to do the branch, and it's going to check if that bot is marine difficulty, and it should say true if we plug that in. So let's give that a shot. We're going to mark, and notice on the left there, the debug says true because it ran that check as soon as it brought that bot in. And so that kind of gives you some of that functionality. I don't know, I mean, I can't even think of a scenario right now when you would have to check bots, but I mean, there's some cool stuff people do, and you realize you need to check bot difficulties. Get is bot is great. We could do that same loop through each player. Let's get rid of this. Let's just test this get is bot. Okay, current player is bot. So this is basically going to say it's going to check. We're going to have the list of all players, go through every player. If that player is a bot, it's going to send true into this, and then we'll actually get the true printout. So if we run it, when we tag again, see how we get a true? That's because it's tagging once if there's a bot. So now let's, just to take that one step further real quick, actually I can just duplicate this. If we want it to say false, it's going to actually check our player as well, and it should print out a true and a false because there's one bot, one player. And if we keep marking and adding bots, we should see more. So we have a false for me, true for the bot. If we do this again, false for me, true for the two bots. So it's, you know, a great way to check if a player is a bot. And then as we wrap up here, let's just take a look. So we have remove all bots. Self-explanatory, but what I'm going to do just to kind of show how that works is we're going to do event for players, and we'll do on player crouch. Okay, so essentially we're going to crouch, and it's going to remove all the bots. Add a few bots in, so we have 3 bots. And you watch the left side of the screen there, see how they're joining, but if I go ahead and crouch, all 3 of them just left. So you can use that in your functionality. And the last one is remove a specific bot from a match, okay? So this one we could use with our loop. So for example, let's get rid of these real quick. So we're gonna loop through. If the player's a bot, it's gonna be true. And then we'll say remove specific bot from the match. Well, we'll remove that same player. So it's actually gonna add a bot, loop through the bots, see that it's a bot, and remove the bot from the match. Really no actual functionality there, but it kind of serves a purpose for showing what can happen. So 343 dazzle left as soon as they joined in. So that's kind of a summary of the different bot nodes and some basics on how they can be used. Obviously, you know, if you get into more complex, probably game modes and things, if you're building that, you're going to want to be able to manage bots, especially, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of people doing bot-oriented maps yet, but I think we will see that soon. And so it's good to know how to use the different bot nodes in conjunction with that. But I'm going to go ahead and end here. Definitely want to thank you all for watching. Like I said, I'm going to be making some more tutorials here in the near future. So if you want to sub and you know, stay notified of that, that's great. And hope you guys have a wonderful day.